What's up guys, Ryan here from Mud Gunner, and first of all I want to say May the 4th be with you. I did this last year too. Yeah, it's May the 4th, Star Wars Day, or Star Wars themed day, and I just want to say weapons are part of my religion, so what I have here for you today is a Star Wars themed gun. Now we did a May the 4th video last year with the same gun. This is a Tommy built T36C, so it's basically an American made G36 clone, and I shot it again last year. To be honest, that was the last time I shot it, so basically bringing it out once a year right now. But this year I figured we could do a short video just comparing it to other guns, because the G36 or the T36, it's a piston driven gun. What I also have is a SCAR 16 and a CZ Bren 2. These are both piston, or all three of these are piston driven guns, short stroke piston, and they are similar in barrel length and size, so it's not a fair comparison, but I do think it's going to be a pretty fun video just to show them side by side, talk about what I like and don't like about some of them. Also, it's very windy today, so I'm hoping the wind's not too bad for you guys, but yeah, we're just going to shoot about a mag through each gun. So we have the CZ Bren 2 here. This is an 11-inch gun, and again, this is no fair comparison at all. These other guns are probably going to shoot much nicer, but this one has a HB Industries piston setup, so I want to thank them. They actually helped me out with this. I bought this used and was having a lot of feeding issues with it, but they got me squared away, got one of their adjustable pistons in here. Other than that, it's a stock Bren 2. We have my SCAR 16 that is pretty well decked out. It's been on the channel quite a bit, and yeah, we have a lot done to it. Internally, it's just got the Geisley trigger. Other than that, it's all internally a SCAR 16. Nothing else has been changed. But yeah, 10-inch barrel, 8.9-inch barrel, 11.5-inch barrel, and yeah, I'm just excited to shoot these for you guys today. As far as which one's going to be the best, it's going to be the Bren or the SCAR. This is just a cool gun that I really like. It's really unique. It's basically Cerakoted in the Jango Fett color scheme here, and we have a matching case to go with it. So this was a one-of-a-kind deal that Tommy built did, and came in a Pelican case, came with 4 mags. This is the mag that goes in the gun when it's in there, and then it also stands up on it, which is pretty cool. We got a thermal detonator, some patches, a sling, a custom plaque that says it's a Jango Fett T36C, and this is a really sweet setup. I got this through the shop I work at a few years ago, and it was a pretty penny, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't mind shooting it, and yeah, let's get started. We're gonna start with shooting the T36, since that's what you guys are probably here for, and I have a 30-round mag. As far as the ammo goes, this has PMC 223 in it, the Bren has PMC 556, and then the SCAR has Lake City 556. It's just the ammo that I brought out. If I'm having issues with any specific ammo, we'll swap it out. But I figured the 223 should be the softest shooting out of this, because this is also probably going to be not the snappiest gun, but like the sharpest recoil impulse, because it's short. It's an 8.9-inch barrel. But yeah, very cool. It's also got a AAC flash hider with the blast diverter on here. That's how it came from Tommy built. Again, the wind is going to probably be blowing on my mic, so we'll just start shooting. I have 5 rounds in here. I just want to show you guys how this magazine system works. So the G36 is cool because you have this charging handle that can be moved to either side. And you see how it gets caught? It's because once you pull it back, it falls into place, but if you pull it outwards, it goes back. So when you charge it, it just flicks forward, but you can lock it in place, which is pretty sweet. So got 5 rounds in here, and that's it. I have steel at 70 yards. This should be somewhat zeroed. The iron sight, if you guys can see this, it has like the biggest rear aperture ever. So not for precise shooting. I haven't added any type of optic to this because it won't fit in the Pelican case. So we're just doing iron sight shooting. All right, 70-yard target. Just hitting to the left. All right, so I think I got 2 out of the 5, which is not the greatest. You also hear that tinging noise, the tuning fork. I can hear it through my ears. What's cool about the mag system is it has a powder release, kind of like an AK. So you just pull that down, and to push the mag in, it's kind of interesting because you do have to rock it a little bit. This does not take Magpul AR mags. It takes Magpul G36 mags though, which is cool. So you push them in, but it's not in, right? You have to pull it back, and that locks it in place. So in, back. And what's cool is, let me put this 30 round in here now. So when you reload, you insert it in, lock it back, and then you have kind of like a bad lever or a bolt release right here in the trigger guard. So if I push this down, it just goes forward. So pretty sweet. Let me shoot a couple more and then we'll try a different gun. All right, now I figured it out. I have to aim one target to the right. The wind is blowing to the left. The wind should not be affecting this gun that much. I zeroed it for M855 probably a few years ago now. But yeah, Pretty sweet looking gun, huh? Now the paint, as cool as it is, every time I go to clean this gun internally, like the bolt carrier group gets covered in like the paint, like it flakes off. So every time I clean this gun, I'm wiping paint or flakes. I think it's Cerakote paint. I don't know exactly how he does it. It's not a hydro dip, but this thing is painted inside and out. So the paint does come off while you're shooting. Yeah, just part of it. You see it's kind of flaking under there. I have a sling in the case that I attached to this. But yeah, it kind of makes it more battle worn, but that is a really cool gun. So, and the recoil impulse, not terrible. All right, I'm gonna point it this way so it's not towards the camera girl. Let's shoot the Bren next. Now this gun this is my first main day out with it as a functioning gun. The last few times I took it out, it was a single shot because the piston system was not working properly. Not because of HB Industries, they fixed it for me because it had a mix match setup going on. I bought it used, but yeah, the Bren is pretty sweet. This is kind of like the Czech Scar, and all these guns are similar. That's why I brought the 3 out. So let's shoot the 70 yard. That trigger is super soft. Recoil impulse is definitely softer, but not terrible either way. And I like the 11-inch Pro. This also has the HB Industries rail, which I think adds to the look. Again, it's probably really windy for you guys, so I'll just keep shooting. I have a target at, it's about 115 yards from here on the rock. Let me see if I can hit that. Just to the left. Can't tell if I'm hitting the steel or the rock. I can't tell the ding. Let me see if I can get more precise. There we go. Just, yeah, it's easy, Bren. I like it. Another.
It's a lot of gunpowder, like landed in my face.
Oh, camera girl saying the gunpowder residue like came out and hit her in the face. I just like cleaned it and oiled it a little bit last night, so it might blow a little bit of that initial stuff off. It does also have this Griffin, I think they call this the flash can. It's kind of like a compensator flash hider. So I do have a Griffin suppressor we could throw on there. I just figured we'd start by shooting unsuppressed since I don't have a suppressor for the T36. I do actually have one that I bought. So I bought AAC M4 2000s, which are pretty cool. I don't have them yet, but they're at the shop I work at. I could throw those on here, but reading reviews, people said that this is not the greatest gun to suppress. One, because it's already an 8.9-inch barrel. It's already a little overgassed, and then throwing the suppressor on there, I just don't want to wear it out even faster. So I don't plan on running the suppressed, but I have the option to. These guns, I run suppressed, and they're awesome. I can show you guys that in a sec, but here's the Scar. So Scar 16 10-inch, you can see it's all dirty from me running it suppressed mostly. It's actually kind of nice to shoot stuff unsuppressed because it does feel different, and then the weight. This thing is already pretty heavy as it is. When you throw the suppressor on there, it's extra beefy. So. I thought that might feed weird. I felt something off, but I saw that it was chambered. That was interesting. So, kind of crush that casing in a little bit. We won't shoot that one, we'll shoot another one. This could be a magazine issue. I had issues with these Tango Down mags on another gun. I've kind of just left these loaded for a little bit, so let's see. Yeah. So I think that's a magazine issue. Did not go fully into battery, so let me swap mags and I bet you we won't have any issues. All right, I still have that round chambered from that last mag. I just got it in there, but we're gonna run a Lancer mag and that should fix the issue. I think there's 31 rounds in here though. It will not go in on a closed bolt with 31 rounds. What's cool about running 31 rounds in there is if you have an open bolt or lock it to the back, then you can put that in there, but it does not have enough space to go in on 31 rounds with the bolt forward. So we got one chambered. This mag, I don't foresee having any issues. And you can see this kind of has like that tuning fork noise as well. When I run the suppressor on there, it's not bad though. Can throw this to 4 power and shoot the steel at the 115. It's funny, the wind's kind of blowing me around. Just waiting for the wind to die down a sec. Scar is cool. Let me just shoot a couple rounds fast. I'll do that for you guys too. I'll show you how fast you can shoot each one. All right, so there's the Scar. Very soft shooting. Let's go back to the Tommy built. That trigger is so much slower, but it's not bad. Now let me do this at the 115. This gun's significantly lighter than the other two. Well, maybe not lighter than the Bren, but it's significantly lighter going from the Scar to this. But yeah, that's cool. And then all of them have a folding adapter. So this has a folding brace on there because it is a pistol. I can lock it in right there. Scar has a folding stock. Bren has a folding stock. But let's go back to the Bren. This one, the factory trigger is probably the nicest factory trigger. The Scar, you basically have to put the Geisley in there to get a light trigger. So I'm gonna just do a 5-round dump. Yeah, I mean, that's very comparable to that Geisley trigger in the Bren, in the Scar. That's it. And that's also a factory CZ mag. I think it looks good in there. Let's go. Let's see, what do we want to shoot? Let's do the Scar for a couple more rounds and then we'll finish it off with the G36. But yeah, Scar is cool. I like it. As far as like, if you had to buy one of these, right? Because the T36, as far as I know, Tommy Built sold his business, which is interesting. I'm sure they're still going to be producing them. The T36 is cool, but in my opinion, if you want like a practical gun, do a Scar, do a Bren over it. There's just so much more aftermarket support, and I think they're better shooting guns. And then price and just parts and mag availability, yeah. I would recommend, for the money, the Bren's probably the best bang for your buck. I just really like the Scar. Go back to 1 power. That's it, and then that's nice. I'll also put a couple rounds through each one suppressed for you guys, but let me finish off this mag on the G36. Let me know what you guys think of this. It looks pretty cool with that color scheme, huh? I do think this gun in like black would be pretty cool too. They did the C, the K, forget what the full size is. I think the K is like a 12-inch barrel. The 12-inch barrel is probably the most practical, but I really like this setup. That's it. Send the bolt forward. Pretty sweet. Let me put the suppressors on the Bren in this car so you can hear what a couple of those rounds sound like, and then I think we'll call it good. So I'm gonna use PMC X-Tac 5.56. We'll just put 10 rounds through each. And for the Scar, we have a Surefire 7.62 Mini. This has been the main suppressor on the Scar for about the past year, year and a half. I am actually gonna be changing that here soon. I am gonna dedicate a Surefire SB2, which is specifically meant for short barrel 5.56s. I think I'm gonna use that 7.62 Mini as a floater can to run between my other guns and dedicate the SB2 to this. Because the one thing with the Scar is when you add a suppressor, especially the Scar, this works with every gun, but you're adding back pressure. And with the Scar, not that they beat themselves to death, but you're supposed to adjust the piston setup. You can get like the Mototech infinitely adjustable piston. I wanna do that at some point, but I just haven't done it yet. So I run the 7.62 can as kind of like a low back pressure suppressor. Another option, you could do like a flow through can. I just haven't got one yet. So yeah, I run the 7.62 on that. And then the Bren, we're gonna be running the Griffin Armament HRT 5.56 suppressor. I really like this. I feel like this is a pretty low back pressure suppressor on this. And then my other gun that I run it on is a BCM 11.5. So I do like that. And again, this is my first day running the Bren with this new piston system. So I can put it, I think I already have it in the lowest gas setting possible. So I'm curious to see how well it runs with that, because I have not run that suppressed with that piston on there. So the Bren with the Griffin HRT. This is the dual lock system, so it threads on and then locks on with 3 teeth on this, and it's pretty cool. So it's not a ratchet system. You just screw that on, lift up, move it over, and now it's locked. The tried and true surefire mounting system, as long as your collar's open, you just drop it on, make sure it finds its home, because it only goes on one way. If you see, if I spin it, it'll just fall into place right there. And then just tighten that. Barrel's still a little warm, and that's it. We will do a couple through the Scar and then the Bren. So I'll do 5 and 5 to start. So you see, soft shooting. I have my ears on. It's definitely quiet with ears. Without ears, 5.56 is quiet enough, but if you want quiet, get 300 blackout suppressed, because that's actually quiet. 5.56 suppressed is not super quiet to the ears, but it's bearable. Next up, we'll do the Bren. First time running this suppressed with the correct piston setup. That feels like it didn't completely cycle, but let me check. It did.
That's quiet.
It's quiet. I felt the gases coming right like back in my face a lot more. And I have it in setting 1 right now. I haven't looked. I assume setting 1 is probably the lower gas setting and setting 3 is more gas. That'd be my guess. It's ejecting at what, like the 2-ish o'clock? But yeah, that's not bad. Let me do a 5-round dump through them, and then I think we'll call it good. So a quick 5 rounds through the Scar. Not bad. And I can smell the gases a little bit on the Scar. It just didn't seem as noticeable as the Bren did. So 5 rounds. Yeah, that's like right in the face. Like it like comes up right into my nose. But you see, it ran smooth, cycled, locked back on the last round. So the gun's running good.
You just might get a little bit of cancer.
A little bit of cancer, yeah. Lead poisoning. What other poisonings can you get from shooting? I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Again, just short comparison between the T36 or the G36, the Scar 16, and the Bren 2. Overall, I like them all. If I had to give it my take on which one I like the most, I like the Scar the most, but I'm biased towards the Scar. As a complete battle-ready setup, I love the Scar. You see the Bren, super soft shooting. Price-wise, it's the most affordable out of the bunch, and I say affordable, they're still pretty pricey, like brand new, but I do think the Bren gets you the best bang for your buck. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.